Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, authorities search for a man suspected in a deadly shooting. Plus, traffic flows again on John Stockbauer Drive following a power line incident. And the government shutdown drags into the weekend with no end in sight. What it means for you.
Well, we had some showers roll down the 59 corridor, but are we going to see more of that tomorrow? I'll be talking about that coming up.
And fishers from across Texas head to Matagorda Bay for a first-of-its-kind tournament, the big money on the line. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shauna Curry. A manhunt is underway in Victoria County for a man suspected in a deadly shooting. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley is in Telfiner with the details.
Victoria County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call about a home here in the 100 block of Miniature Road Friday morning. When they got here, they found a woman who died from a gunshot wound. Deputies say the suspect, Sane Gavin, fled on foot before they arrived. They searched the area for Savin, described as an Asian in his 40s wearing a gray hoodie and gray pants. Authorities say he is also dark complexed with a ponytail and visible tattoos. Nearby school and business were also secured during the search. Authorities say this is an isolated event, but encourage residents to stay alert. Reporting in Telfiner, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
And authorities have not yet identified the woman killed in that incident. Downed power lines close part of John Stockbauer. Around 11:30 this morning, an 18-wheeler leaving a parking lot caught a power line near the 3400 block of John Stockbauer. The line snapped and in the process brought down two nearby utility poles. No one was hurt. Victoria Police, the fire department, and AEP crews were on the scene working to clean things up and get the power situation under control. John Stockbauer Drive was shut down between Leary Lane and Mockingbird Lane until those repairs were made. Well, let's go now to meteorologist Jacob Lozano to take a look at the forecast for the weekend. Jacob, we saw some rain today, so I guess the big question is, are we moving into more of a rainier weekend, or are we going to be going back to the sunshine?
Well, Shauna, we're actually going to be moving more into a rainier weekend, actually a rainier week as well. There we have still some shower activity here. This is the current hour right now with some moderate showers moving through DeWitt County, as well as that shower that had rolled through Victoria, now in Goliad County, as well as parts of Refugio County, still dealing with that. But it is diminishing here, so I know we have football games and things of that nature, so it is diminishing, which is a great thing. But about half an inch had fell around Port Lavaca. Refugio is still counting up some of those totals right now. Close to half an inch around here in Victoria, and we can take a little closer look. Bloomington actually saw close to half an inch as well. And speaking of that, they should be all good, all clear with all the rain. I know that's the game of the week there Friday for this at 7:30 against the Flatonia Bulldogs. It'll be about 79 degrees with mostly clear skies for the night. So good luck to all of them. And we'll be talking about tomorrow's forecast as well as the remainder of the weekend coming up. Shauna?
If you want to vote in the upcoming November 4th election, you have until Monday to get registered if you're not already. This year, Texans will weigh in on 17 proposed changes to the state constitution, plus local and special elections depending on where you live. Secretary of State Jane Nelson is urging everyone to plan ahead, starting with making sure you're registered. Just go to votetexas.gov to check your status or print out a registration form. Early voting runs October 20th through 31st, and again, Election Day is November 4th. Refugio County Judge Gila Pointer is officially running for re-election. First elected in 2023, Judge Pointer says she is committed to keeping Refugio County moving forward with a focus on infrastructure, emergency preparedness, and economic growth. She says her Horizon Refugio 2036 plan will guide smart development, especially as the county gets ready for the I-69 relief route. Pointer is also known for her legal background, community work, and open-door leadership style. Day 3 of the government shutdown, and Republicans and Democrats are still at odds. It's unclear whether any negotiations are underway, and at this point, the shutdown seems likely to continue into next week. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest from the White House.
For the fourth time this week, the Senate today tried and failed to pass a short-term bill to reopen the government. Majority Leader John Thune says there will be no more votes this weekend, so the shutdown won't end until at least Monday.
There's nothing to be gained at this point by negotiating something that there's nothing to negotiate.
Democrats are digging in. They say they won't fund the government until Republicans agree to reverse Medicaid cuts and extend expiring Obamacare subsidies so health insurance premiums don't go up for millions of Americans.
Democrats will continue to stand on the side of the American people, fight for their health care, and improve their quality of life.
So far, the Democrats' message seems to be winning. According to a Washington Post poll, more Americans blame Republicans and President Trump for the shutdown. At the White House, the administration is preparing to take the unprecedented step of firing thousands of federal workers and making program cuts that primarily affect blue states.
The Office of Management and Budget, as we've said repeatedly, is working with the agencies and our cabinet secretaries to identify where cuts unfortunately can and have to be made.
President Trump this morning posting an artificial intelligence-generated video depicting his budget director as the Grim Reaper, laying off workers. ABC's Mary Bruce pushing the White House on why these firings are necessary.
We don't like laying people off. Nobody takes joy in that around here. Nobody wants to do that, but sometimes in government you have to make tough decisions.
Negotiations on Capitol Hill between Democrats and Republicans are at a standstill, but lawmakers are still getting paid. Federal workers around the country, caught in the middle, are worried about the financial strain of a long shutdown.
I think one of the biggest concerns isn't so much today, tomorrow, but it's what's going to happen in 2 weeks.
And one big potential impact here in Washington. The Smithsonian Museums will remain open through Saturday, October 11th. But if the shutdown continues past that day, the museums will close. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The U.S. Supreme Court is stepping back into the gun rights debate, this time to decide whether states can ban people from carrying guns on private property without the owner's okay. The case centers on a Hawaii law passed in 2023, which says gun owners need clear permission, written or verbal, to carry in places like stores or malls. It also bans guns in parks, beaches, bars, and restaurants that serve alcohol. Gun rights groups are challenging it, calling the law too restrictive. It is the court's first big Second Amendment case in over a year. A supporter of President Trump and an ICE protester exchanged blows outside the ICE facility in South Portland Thursday night. Victor Park has more on the escalating tensions.
Tonight, a Trump supporter in the white shirt and an ICE protester in a black hoodie exchanging blows outside the ICE facility in South Portland. One man knocking the other to the ground before getting up. Federal agents then arresting both after the two continued arguing. Minutes later, officers arrest another anti-ICE protester.
It's not going to stop us from being down here and doing what's right.
It's happening hours before a judge will decide whether to block President Trump's order to send the National Guard to Portland. Trump's lawyers argue troops will only protect federal buildings and will not roam the city. They say immigration officers are under attack by protesters, citing instances when they say the building was nearly set on fire, adding that Portland police have not come to help when they have called.
I fear that if the restraining order doesn't get passed, that there's a possibility they might even get worse.
The state argues bringing the National Guard will make matters worse and escalate protests to larger sizes. Court documents say since the Guard deployment was announced, Portland police officers have put in more than 1,100 hours of overtime, costing upwards of $100,000.
We're completely within our First Amendment rights, We're down here just peacefully protesting.
The Justice Department is now looking into the arrest of conservative influencer Nick Sorter in Portland. Police say the 27-year-old was involved in a fight late Thursday near the ICE facility. He was booked for disorderly conduct but released without bond. Sorter, who has a large social media following, says police made a big mistake and claims former Florida AG Pam Bondi told him the feds are investigating. Portland police deny any political motive, but the White House says President Trump has ordered a review of federal funding to the city. A key coastal monitoring station in Copano Bay is back online 8 years after Hurricane Harvey knocked it out. Texas Land Commissioner Dawn Buckingham announced today that the Ticoon station, part of the Texas Coastal Ocean Observation Network, has been fully rebuilt. It tracks real-time data like tides and weather, which can be crucial during storms and other emergencies. Buckingham called it a big win for coastal safety and resilience, saying it's all part of the state's push to better protect and understand the Texas coast. The first ever Velocity Power Sports fishing tournament is setting sail tomorrow as fishers from across Texas compete for the grand prize. The tournament is the first of its kind, adding the requirement of having a personal sea craft, usually only for open water tournaments. This tournament is set in Matagorda Bay as boats launch from the Port O'Connor Fishing Center. First place earns a $2,000 prize and other merchandise. The top 7 finishers win cash prizes.
We wanted to do something different, and they happened to hit one right up my alley because I'm on the saltwater every weekend. And so it's one of those things where we're definitely looking forward to the future with it. Yeah, I'm absolutely excited.
Basically, our business truck.
Check-in begins at 5:45 a.m. and boats launch at sunrise. Official rules can be found in the events list tab on their website at atzp.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Unwelcome visitors take over a North Texas apartment complex. And health experts weigh in on Sober October. Crews have managed to gain control of a massive fire that erupted at a Chevron oil refinery in El Segundo, California. It sent large flames and plumes of smoke into the air. The fire broke out around 9 Thursday night and could be seen for miles across the South Bay. Officials said there was no threat to the public and no injuries. The refinery is the largest oil-producing site on the West Coast, and it is not the first explosion it's seen. It's not immediately clear what caused Thursday's blaze. Residents at a North Texas apartment complex report a family of feral hogs has been roaming the Coppell property for 6 straight nights. Wildlife experts warn that the animals pose a growing danger as they become more comfortable around people. Up to 9 hogs have been spotted rummaging through grassy areas, leaving muddy messes behind. Apartment management works with a private wildlife company to set traps.
Can be extremely dangerous. The fact that those hogs are getting comfortable enough to get that close to people, they don't feel threatened at all.
The city of Coppell confirms it is aware of the wild hog sightings near the apartment complex. Animal Services will call in wildlife experts if the situation poses a threat to public safety. Residents hope the trapping efforts are successful so they can safely use the outdoor areas with their pets. A Royal Caribbean cruise ship docked in Port Miami Thursday after nearly 100 people on board got sick with norovirus during a 13-day trip. The CDC says 94 passengers and 4 crew members on Serenade of the Seas came down with the highly contagious stomach virus, which causes vomiting, diarrhea, and fatigue. The ship set sail from San Diego and made stops in Mexico, Costa Rica, and Colombia before arriving in Miami. Passengers say the crew responded quickly, ramping up cleaning and offering free room service to those affected. The ship is already getting ready for its next voyage to Panama. PepsiCo is working behind the scenes to swap artificial dyes for natural ones, especially in fan favorites like Gatorade. At its labs in New York and Texas, scientists are testing ingredients like paprika, turmeric, and purple sweet potatoes to match the bold flavors customers know and love, but without changing the taste or shelf life. Right now, 40% of PepsiCo products still use synthetic dyes, but the company says it is committed to shifting, even if it takes years. The first changes will be Tostitos and Lay's, set to go natural later this year. It is called Sober October. It's a month-long challenge to skip alcohol and see how going dry can impact your health. But can just 1 month really make a difference? In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither breaks down the benefits and shares tips for a successful booze-free month.
October may mean pumpkins and colorful leaves, but for some, it also kicks off a month-long challenge to stay sober.
Abstaining from alcohol for even a short period of time can really make a big difference when it comes to our health.
Registered dietitian Sarah Ream with Orlando Health says alcohol puts a strain on the body, and those cocktails can have consequences.
It can increase our risk for cancer. It can increase symptoms of anxiety, depression, even learning problems. And long-term alcohol use can really increase our risk for things like heart disease, hypertension, which is high blood pressure.
Whether you're sober curious and plan to cut back or want to kick your drinking habit altogether, Ream says to set yourself up for success by planning ahead. If you're used to having a drink after work or out with friends, it's helpful to still have something in your hand.
Still have a beverage, but maybe that's a sparkling water or a non-alcoholic alternative to our favorite beverage.
Next, Ream says to still maintain the integrity of the habit, use a wine glass or beer tumbler you're used to using with the non-alcoholic drink. And finally, let your friends and family know what you're doing.
Even getting a buddy to do it with you. That way you have somebody that is there supporting you, kind of going through this journey with you.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The dietitian says if abstaining completely from alcohol for a month is daunting, making a conscious effort to cut back on cocktails can also allow your body and mind to reap some benefits.
Well, as of 1:51, we got to 91 degrees, and that's been our high for today. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about the full moon for this month because it may affect our coastline. I'll be talking about that. Well, welcome back, Crossroads. The Hunter's Moon is here, October 6th and 7th. It is going to be our supermoon for the month of October here, and it was obviously the hunter's moon or the harvest moon because of the bright light that it extended the hunting hours around this time in October. But it is also going to be affecting our coastline here. We're going to be seeing some higher rip current here associated with some high tides. The higher rip current is also associated with a low pressure system off the Louisiana coastline that's going to be pushing in towards the Houston area, and it'll kind of help mix things up a little bit. But the coastal flood advisory, due from the astronomical high tides as well as that swell energy from that low pressure system. So that'll be up till Sunday morning for us there. If you decide to head down to the coastline, do be aware that could be up a little bit higher than normal. There's that low pressure system that I've been talking about there off the Louisiana coast. High pressure out towards Mexico is actually going to be shrinking down farther down south there, and that low pressure is going to be pushing out towards the Houston area like I mentioned there, and that's going to be helping increase our rain chances for us here across the crossroads here. And if you look at Future Tracker, as of right now, we still have those remaining little showers. They're going to continue down south along the 7759 corridor there and eventually diminish out. So we should be all good by 7 o'clock. I know we have some gains that are going to be picking up there around 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. So we'll start to see some clearing in our skies there over the next couple of hours. And it'll remain relatively clear throughout the night, but we do start to watch for some more shower activity begin to pick up there along our coastline in the morning time, as well as picking up once again in the afternoon time. So I know we have Tejas Fest tomorrow, or the last day for Tejas Fest is tomorrow. A couple isolated showers that we could be continuing to watch there across the region could be also pop up here in Victoria by about 4 o'clock. But it eventually will start to diminish here by 7 o'clock once again. But by midnight, we are watching for another possible isolated shower to push up because of that mid-upper level low. That's going to help fling in some more moisture there, especially along the coastline for Sunday. But if we look at a little bit farther out in a more higher resolution track here for Sunday, we're looking up towards the Houston area. Let me get back into frame over here. And that's actually going to be, you can see the counterclockwise rotation with this system there as the shower activity will begin to pick up there Monday for them as well. There's a little bit more cloud cover for us, but it's something we still have to continue to watch it, even though it looks like it may not rain here in Victoria. Just one little increment a little bit farther down south, and we'll end up within that low pressure system that could give us a good chance for some rain. So we're keeping it about 30% there for Sunday and Monday. Temperature-wise for tonight, 76 degrees by 10 p.m. right when you get out of the football game. But tomorrow morning, getting up to 71, upper 60s up north, though, and by about 10 o'clock here, 80 degrees. It'll start to get warming up here by noontime, 86. So if we're out and about, it's going to get a little bit warmer than normal. Humidity is also going to be picking up with the easterly winds. So 90 degrees will be our high for us, right around the low 90s. Could scrape that upper 80, which would be quite nice. But by 10 p.m., getting down into the mid to upper 70s for the nighttime. So it's going to be feeling a little bit warm, a little bit muggy. For your daily planner, though, tomorrow for Saturday, sunny skies to mostly sunny skies throughout the day with a 20% chance for some shower activity. Easterly winds will be dominant throughout the day, as well as Port Lavaca seeing those same conditions, as well as Cuero keeping about a 20% chance for some rain out there as well with easterly winds and the low 90s. Next 7 days, rain chances increase with that mid-upper level low here Sunday and Monday, but high pressure will come back into our picture here after Monday into Tuesday, and that'll help increase our temperatures. Now don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports, and we're tossing it back to Shauna.
Still to come, the government shutdown creates a data mystery on Wall Street. The details ahead. The market's ending the week with the Dow up 239 points, the S&P 500 unchanged, and the Nasdaq down 64 points. The price of oil is up 40 cents to $60.88 per barrel. Apple has pulled apps from its App Store that alert people to nearby ICE agents following a request from the Justice Department. These apps, like ICE Block, have been available since spring, but were removed Thursday after Apple said they did not meet store guidelines. The Trump administration argues the apps put ICE agents at risk, but the app's creator calls that claim patently false. So far, ICE and Homeland Security have not commented on the removal. Cracker Barrel has cut ties with the design firm behind its controversial logo makeover. The San Francisco-based firm Profit was hired just 7 months ago to refresh the brand, including ditching the famous man in overalls and the barrel from the logo. After a huge online backlash, including criticism from President Trump, the chain quickly reversed the changes and went back to its old logo. Profit was also helping update the restaurant's look with modern decor, but that plan's been scrapped after only 4 locations made the change. Sending some stuff in the mail will soon cost a little more. Starting next week, the United States Postal Service is boosting its prices for the 2025 holiday season. Officials say these adjustments are needed to help deal with the extra handling expenses that come during this busier than usual time of year. Priority Mail Express, Priority Ground, Ground Advantage, and Parcel Select will all be affected. The holiday pricing will expire on January 18th. For more information, you can go to the Postal Service website. Well, today was supposed to bring the government's latest jobs report, but the government shutdown delayed that release. Now businesses, job hunters, and investors are without that insight at a crucial time. Karen Kafa reports from Washington.
In the midst of a government shutdown on Friday morning, the latest government employment data was a mystery even to U.S. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer.
Usually we get the reports the day before, and I haven't seen that for this month.
The delay of the release of the September jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics means Wall Street investors, Main Street businesses, and consumers have one less piece of the economic puzzle to make important financial decisions.
It's not like all the data goes away, but it's certainly one source that a lot of people pay attention to could be quite delayed.
One private data source, the ADP payroll report released Wednesday, estimated the private sector lost 32,000 jobs during September. With healthcare and education adding jobs, most other sectors slumping, and small businesses with fewer than 50 employees shedding more jobs than larger companies.
There's been this wait and see from employers in terms of whether they're going to hire. We've seen a number of employers, for other reasons, decide that they are going to contract their workforces, and so we're seeing those announcements as well.
If a shutdown drags on and continues to stall the release of future economic reports, the Federal Reserve could be without key data when they meet for their next move on interest rates at the end of the month. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Forget textbooks. One student's hobby weighs 1,500 pounds. We'll have his story next. Usually it's all engineering and math at Colorado School of Mines, but one student is growing something a little different, a giant pumpkin. Leif Ritter is a chemical engineering student who has been growing massive veggies for 13 years. And this year's pumpkin, who he named Eli, weighed in at a whopping 1,579 pounds, possibly the biggest ever grown in Colorado. I don't know how he moved it there, but unless he grew it right there on the lawn. Leif says he names all of his pumpkins and loves sharing the joy they bring. His parents are his full-time pumpkin crew, cheering him on every step of the way. And the best part is Leif's saving the seeds to grow even more giant gourds next year. I thought he was making a giant jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Then I was thinking, well, what about some desserts with that? Pumpkin pie, maybe some pumpkin bread. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but no, he wants to take those seeds and hope that it'll make even a bigger pumpkin next year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how you would grow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what
either.
you feed it. I don't know what I don't know what the secret
I have
is.
Just some rain, maybe.
Maybe. So we might be seeing a little bit here and there the
Yes.
next couple days.
Yeah, in the afternoon time, we're going to see kind of what we saw today, but a little bit less there. 20% chance for some rain for tomorrow. I know we have Tejas Fest, so may want to bring that umbrella just in case you get that little shower that rolls through. But we have a mid-upper level low moving in here Sunday and Monday, so something we're going to continue to watch. We have it at about 30% right now, but temperatures are also on the rise again.
All right, yeah, the humidity is definitely back. That was the biggest thing I noticed this afternoon. Well, thanks for joining us. Our next newscast is in 30 minutes, right after World News Now with David Muir.